about the test.
Right?
Huh? I hear you.
But we're not taking the test right now.
No, you're not taking it. No. You got a long way to go before you take this test. No. Okay. That's only good. Wait a minute, I got one. No, we'll probably take this test in sometime in July.
So you're gonna be going over this with us?
So you can take. Oh yeah. Now this is what I want you to do. I think they have a practice test in here. Did they submit the practice test?
And they got a pressure top.
No, they didn't. Here's your pressure temperature chart that we just talked about here.
One at the back too.
Right. And I want you to find 40 degrees on the back. On the back. 40 degrees. Find 40 degrees.
40 degrees.
All right.
Was it the top?
Now, I want you to find R22 refrigerant.
This is 68.6.
68.6. All right.
And this was, you wanted to put 68.5, but
Look, don't matter.
yeah, if I said
Yeah. Plus or minus 68. When I was doing a lot of charging, I got it to 70. When I got it to 70, I cut it off. I'm good to go. I didn't worry about 68. All right.
Where do we take the test here?
Yeah.
The R22 is 69.6.
No, R22, 40 degrees. That's the ideal temperature you get for your evaporator now. Evaporator temperature, you try to get it at 40 degrees. So it's 68.6. Okay? Now, if we're using 410A, where's 410A? Okay, that's almost at the end, 410A. Just come down to 40 degrees and you'll see what the pressure is.
40 degrees? Yeah, it's 118.
Yeah, 118. Now that's your suction pressure now. That's your low side pressure. But your high side pressure will be 475. I think they have the high side pressure. They don't give you the high side pressure. Oh, yes, they do. No, that's not true. But anyway, this is a real hard test to pass class. So if you're not studying, you won't pass this test. You can go online. There are many practice tests that you can take. All right? And I think you do better going online, reading this, and then going online and look at all the different practice tests for your 608 test.
We can use during exam.
Yes, you can use that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that lets you use is the PT chart. All right? So, and here again, you see refrigeration. You see this, the outdoor condensing unit. This is the centrifugal chiller. As we told you, this is the largest type of compressor you will ever come across. Those centrifugal compressors. And I doubt if any of y'all ever seen one, because if you must go into what is called a compressor room in a building, a large building, and only certain people are allowed to go in there anyway. You seen them? Okay, yeah, you have access. You seen them? Wait, you see them? All right. They're playing parts? Is that right? Okay. Yeah, well, that's your heavy chillers. All right. And this is the ice making machine here. On the bottom of this here.
Are we expected to memorize all the?
No, no, you can use that if they have a question about it. You can go refer to this. You see what I'm saying? If they ask you a question, what's the suction pressure? 40 degrees or 14.8, you can find it. That's the only thing they will let you use to get your answer. Is your PT chart.
Then you should probably know the temperature of each point.
Yeah. But if you don't, it's right there for you. Okay. One other thing before we go, class, I wanted to do this real quick. Now, I want you to study this about to pass out because this is the best example of the refrigeration chart here because it shows you the liquid line, the suction line, and it tells you what's happening, the pressure, the condition, and the state of the refrigerant. This is, we go over this on, bring this back on next Tuesday. Bring it back next Tuesday. We're going to go over this in class. And I think this is the best one to illustrate the pressures, temperatures, and the change of state that takes place in the condenser and the evaporator. The saturation point. Yeah, the saturation point, and it'll let you know. Yeah, that takes place in the evaporator and the condenser. This is one of the best. I like this one better than the book.
Wow.
Yeah. And you might find it in your 408 manual. I don't know. I know it was in an old one. So that's where this came from. Huh?
I said I was doing something totally different.
No, it's in another book. Similar to this, but I don't know if it's in there. But we'll cover this real quick. Now, let's wrap up a little quick today. We went over a lot of things today, class. And I hope everybody got some understanding of what we're doing here. Today, we wanted to just introduce you to parts. We haven't even gone over the parts of the furnace that we told you we go over. The heat exchanger. This is the heat exchanger here, inside here. These are your burners, your manifold. This is your control board here. Okay, we want to go over all the parts. Parts and purpose. You must know the part and you must know the purpose of that part. You don't understand the purpose of that part, how could you troubleshoot? You have to know what it is, what it's supposed to do, and when it's supposed to do it. All of that takes place. Remember we saw the one on the furnace, the sequence of operations. The guy went through that. We showed you that twice. The sequence of operation. What's the first thing that come on your furnace?
The fan, the
No,
motor,
that's the last thing to come on.
the motor,
What motor?
the blower motor.
No, that's the blower motor. That's your fan. That's your blower motor at the bottom. The first thing that comes on is this here. All right? Your inducer motor. That's the first thing that comes on. Remember we showed you the sequence of operation for heating. Please, sometimes you go back and look at these videos, because it tells you this. You know the sequence of operation, then it won't be hard during your troubleshooting. Trust me. So next week, we're going to come back and revisit and introduce you to all the different parts that make up our furnaces. We're going to take a little time off because from cooling and air conditioning, from cooling, module 5, and we're going to get back to module 5 next. But I wanted to introduce you to all the things that we talked about earlier when we went over heating. We went over that during the winter months, right? And now you're into cooling. This is cooling season now. So we're going to come back Tuesday, heating, and then next week, after Tuesday, we'll come back and start cooling again. Because that's a big, long module in the book. We have to complete all of it. So, and we showed you all the different parts, the capacitors, contactor, outdoor disconnect. Everybody should know
The air
what they are,
handlers.
what they do, right? And next week we'll show you again how to wire it up. No, we're not going to show you. Y'all going to wire it up next week, okay?
All
That's
them
your job.
capacitors right there?
Huh?
Them all small capacitors or them backup
These
generators?
capacitors you find primarily on your blower motor. Look down there and see that little capacitor. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It looks just like this, right?
Alright, yeah.
All right, you find those on your blower motor. You'll find these on your outdoor
Yeah.
conditioning
Yeah,
unit,
yeah.
this type of capacitor. All right? And don't forget, the outdoor capacitor has 3 terminals. What are the 3 again on your capacitor? Fan, perm, and common.
Yeah,
And HERM stands for what?
What's his name?
Write it in your notes. You have a composition book? Bring one next week, please. HERM stands for compressor. HERM. Hermetic. That's what the word HERM means. Hermetic. Hermetic is a word that means sealed. And the word sealed is just the idea of the compressor because they're sealed. All right? It's not open. You see how this is open here? That's open. But everything is sealed in your air conditioning. All right. Any other questions before we go?
No, you said Herms. What else? The three things. It was Herms,
Common,
it was
and Fed. Now, when you do your test with your meter, you can test common to Fed, and it'll tell you what should be your numbers for on your meter for common to Fed. It'll tell you from common to Herm. It should tell you what should the numbers be. And it'll tell you here on your fan it should be Herm is 45. Your fan, you should get 5. All right? So this will let you know. If you don't have 46, if you don't have nothing close to 46, that compressor will not come on. So you need to replace this. If your fan doesn't come on, if you don't have nothing close to 5, when you get your gauge, you got your meter, not your gauge, your meter, and put on here. If you got 2 or 1, it's no good. All right? So there's a lot to learn, but we can learn all this, and we can excel in this and be great engineers, great technicians, teachers. 5 years from now, 10 years now, you might be standing up here teaching this class. You never know. Don't take anything for granted. As a young person, don't take nothing for granted, man. Don't ever think that, hey, I don't think I could ever. No, man. I didn't think I could do this. I come from humble beginnings. I come from real humble beginnings. So I know if I could do it, or no, and do it even better. All right. No other questions? We'll see everybody Monday. All right. So take care.
Hey, don't forget you got a pressure gauge on there.
No, I'm gonna leave you on there.
So this guy was a joke. Supposed to get it.
You can look up more information online, that's what he said. Look up more information
We
online.
got practice session today.
This guy, the book,
No. That guy that he's gonna teach us, and then you on your own study time online. Look up more information. But if you do go practice test online, maybe we get
Fan
there.
doesn't come
I have
on.
no
Check
idea.
out the fan. If the fan doesn't come on, put your fan mode. So you have to check it out.
okay.
Good, man. Okay, and congratulations again, man, for all these wonderful things, for all these lovely gifts. Yeah, oh, no doubt, man.
No, thank you, man. Sorry, I always come late because my work close by.
Oh, yeah.
Then I drive to Silver Spring.
Good, that's a good hope.
So I gotta, but it was wet and traffic. I gotta be careful.
Yeah,
I miss a lot.
Yeah, but what you missed is when you call and say, man, what are we coming at the beginning? And we go with that. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here for you, man. You know? Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. Y'all be good, man.
All right.
Stay strong out here, man.
All right.
Take care, man. All right. You need anything, man, y'all got my number. Call me, man.
All right.
You need anything.
At my house, my fridge, you know, I don't know.
I'm about to clean my
The refrigerator's not getting cold.
Yes.
So your freezer, is it cold in the freezer?
Yeah, the freezer is okay, but make ice sometimes.
It makes ice sometimes. Okay, you say, say these,
It make ice in that.
not all the time. You probably got a bad, how long you have this refrigerator?
Look,
Well, refrigerators, there's not a lot of work to do on refrigerators, you have to get a new one. Only work you might have to do in the refrigerator is replace your evaporator fan. But other than that, when things go bad, it ain't but one problem. It could be a dirty condenser. You clean the condenser, you have to vacuum it out. Usually the condenser is at the bottom. You have to move it off the wall and look at that condenser and vacuum it out. Check that first. All right, and make sure on the refrigerated side it's